So this week, I am not going to do a build update. Well, I may do one in a few days. But today we're going to talk about Sling TSI Transition Training, which I just came back last night from Torrance, where I spent 4 days doing transition training. And I wanted to give a quick overview of that. I'll also overlay me with some pictures of the Sling Pilot Academy and their flight line and the build center and some other stuff. I got to see a number of slings being built, and then they have a Sling TSI and a Sling High Wing that they're going to be taking out to Oshkosh next month, in a few weeks really, and they're finishing those up. So I got to watch them put some final touches, install a wing, put the windscreen in. You can't see it, behind me is my plane, and I've just put the rear windows in, which will be my next update, and I'll be doing the windscreen tomorrow. And I'll get some pictures and video of that, and that'll be in my next build update, maybe Sunday. So anyway, back to the Sling Transition Training. So my background is that I am a super rusty pilot. So when I decided to purchase the Sling kit, I was saving my pennies to pay for this venture, and I sold out of a partnership I was in. So with that, my flying by myself dropped almost to zero. I did get some flights in with some friends and some neighbors. I've lived in a couple flying communities lately, but no flying on my own. I have not owned an aircraft. So I decided I needed to get back into it. I'm getting close to the end with my plane. So I decided I needed to do some training. I might as well be in a Sling TSI, which is what I'm going to be flying. So I got with Edward with Sling, and he hooked me up with Kelso, who got me on the schedule with the scheduler with the Sling Pilot Academy, and the aircraft got reserved. And so I flew 4 days in a row. We did about 2 hours each day. A little more one day, a little less the other 3 days, and just got into it. So it was, for me, being a rusty pilot, but then also going from steam gauges to a technologically advanced avionics, it was a big step up. Also going from Lycoming and Continental to Rotax, the prop controller, everything was different from what I'm used to. Going from a high wing to a low wing. So lots of transitions in every possible way for me. I felt like I got transitioned really, it went really well. And I think part of that's because the Sling is just easy to fly. I'm not saying I did good. My landings still have some work to be done. And I'm still learning. The avionics will take many, many hours of flying, I think, for me to master. Along with maybe some courses. So especially the IFR Navigator, which the transition plane that I flew did not have. So I have a GTN 650 going into my plane, so that'll be a whole separate course on its own I need to get up to speed with. But I only sat in a TSI briefly at Sun and Fun 3 years ago before I put in an order for the kit that I'm building on. And so this was the first time I've really spent any time in a cockpit, because I just never got out to California to do a demo flight. So this was new to me. So just sort of my impressions of the cockpit and getting in and out. I've flown in a Piper Cherokee, which is tight, and you have to slide in from one side, from the co-pilot side. It's nice to be able to step in on the pilot side. It is a little different, sort of shuffling, standing on the seat and then shuffling your feet up underneath it, but easily done. Getting up out of the plane is a little more of a feat for me. I'm a pretty big guy, so I feel like I kind of sort of pull myself up out of the plane. So that's a little different than I'm used to, certainly in the 182, where you just sort of slide out the side door, the big side door. So that's a little different. Also, the plane that I flew for the transition course had toe brakes, and my plane has the handbrake. So I'm not sure how the rudder pedals and the brakes were adjusted as far as forward or back. The rudder pedals in the TSI, the standard rudder pedals, are adjustable, maybe a couple of inches of play. There's 3, I think, holes. I'm gonna have mine as far forward as I can, and I think that'll allow my seat to go back a little bit, which is at an angle, so it'll drop the height down. I have a lot of height in my torso, so that'll maybe keep my headset from hitting the roof of the plane a couple times, with bumps. The very top of, I have a Bose headset, the very top of it would hit the roof. So we'll see if I can prevent that in my Sling with just some setup changes. The control stick had the standard Sling control on it. Mine's gonna have a military grip, so a couple little changes there. How they have the flaps set up, they have an actual a rotatable switch that has up 1, 2, and 3, and mine is a momentary, so that's a little different. The trim is on the stick both ways. The way the grip is from Sling, I felt like I couldn't hit the up trim with my thumb while I was flying very easily. I actually would take my hand off and hit it. Whereas I think in my grip that I'll have installed is gonna be a little easier, but we'll see. Time will tell on that one. But other than that, it's a very fast, slick plane. Excuse me. You have to work a little bit to slow it down to come in for landings, we did, one day we did like 10 touch and goes. And my biggest hurdle was I kept going too fast and climbing. So I felt like I really had to work the trim and keep the power out because it just kept going too fast. Whereas in a Cessna 172, you just don't have that problem. So keeping it under flap extension speed under 85 knots is a little more of a challenge and something I had to get used to over the course of the 4 days. Also keeping from, just gaining altitude in the pattern. It just wants to fly. So I felt like it was more of a challenge than what I was used to, just maintaining altitude. So that's something I'll have to keep working on. But we went through all the standard stuff. This is probably available online. There is a tab on the Sling website or the Sling Pilot Academy about transition training. And I think they have this loaded. They emailed this to me when I set up my appointments. But it just talks about just the basic stuff of getting settled with the aircraft and the basic maneuvers. So anyway, it was a good course, a good people. I enjoyed being out there. And I wandered all over California. I have not spent a lot of free time in California, so that was a little bit of a switch. We had some good weather, so it was pretty. Drove around. So anyway, if anybody's got a Sling and they're the transition course, insurance may require it for you, maybe not. I know a lot of people that have built TSIs are commercial rated pilots, but it's probably still good to get some hours in on in-type before you become your test pilot. For me, I'm a low hour and I was rusty out of practice pilot, so it was essential for me. I haven't gotten with my insurance yet on what's going to be required from my current insurance carrier if I continue with them. I have a build policy on my plane, so if I move with my current carrier to a full insurance policy, I'll have to see if they require 10 hours. I got 7.9 over the 4 days that I flew, so we'll see if that's enough. One of the CFIs said that someone they had done recently said their insurance carrier wanted 5 hours, a transition course, and I think 10 landings. So I would have that for sure, but I'm close to 10, but don't have 10. So if they want 10, I'll have to go back out there. But anyway, that was just kind of a quick little overview. Hopefully you enjoyed a few of the teaser photos and videos of the facility out there if you haven't seen it from other videos or been out there yourself. But hopefully I'll get a build video out in a couple days after I have the windscreen in, and the rear windows have tape, and I have ratchet straps, so there's not much to see right now. But when I peel off all the tape and the ratchet straps, I'll take some more footage and we'll do a build update. So until next time, thanks.